Hello everyone and welcome back to chapter 2 focused on syllables, stress, and vowel and consonant sounds. Now here's our warm-up exercises 1 and 2. It's not an assignment. You don't need to submit anything. This is just practice to get you comfortable with syllables. So if you're going to join us for our session on Thursday, October 22nd, we're going to practice this together. But for now, since we're watching this video, try and see if you can guess how many spoken syllables there are in each word. Now remember, a syllable are the different parts to a word, right? A word breaks down into one or more syllables. And remember that each vowel sound makes a syllable, creates a syllable, like we saw with scent, present, and president. 1, 2, and 3 syllables. Every vowel sound creates a syllable. So in this list, see if you can count how many syllables there are in each word. And then write them down in the appropriate column based on whether there's 1, 2, 3, or 4 syllables. So let's pronounce a few of these together. Arrive, authority. Good. Curious. Very good. And the one syllable example is own. Own. Yeah, so however many vowel sounds there are, that's going to dictate how many syllables there are. Remember, every vowel sound creates a syllable. Let's do business together. How many syllables in business? And every time you hear a vowel sound, I want you to tap your desk, or you can snap your fingers, or you can count with your fingers, however you want to do it. But what you're doing is you're counting the amount of beats there are in each word. The amount of vowel sounds determines how many beats there are, and for every beat, there's a syllable. So let's do business together. Business, business, business. Not business, business, business. I think there are 2 in business. Now be careful, like what we talked about, sometimes there are differences between the number of syllables in the way a word is written and the way a word is spoken. Not always the same. Business has 2 syllables in the spoken form, but if you look at the spelling, there are 3 vowel sounds, right? So when it's written, 3 syllables. When it's spoken, 2 syllables. English, right? It's you just become familiar with how these words are pronounced. Let's take a look at center. Center, like the middle. Center has 2 syllables. Now we're getting to some words that have multiple syllables. Take our time with this one. Competition. 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 Competition has 4 syllables. And then if you want to double check to make sure you're pronouncing the word correctly, you could do one of 2 things. You can listen to track, let's see, it says CD1 track 3. Remember, in your useful tools, if you guys go to the module, we're not in useful tools, forgive me, at the very beginning of the chapter, the overview, Remember that you can access the audio files here. Here you can find scanned copies of the chapter, and here you can find access to those audio files. So that was CD1 track 3, correct? CD1 track 3. That's interesting. Usually it allows you to just choose the track, but I guess you have to download all the audio? That's strange. Let me refresh it and see if that makes a difference. CD1. Ah, there we are. Now it's working. Sorry about that. I'm going to cancel this. Don't need all that. All right, let's listen now.
Exercise 1C, page 8. One syllable. Own. Page. Please. Text.
So they're actually going to give you the answers. So what I would recommend is see if you can do it on your own first, and then you can check your answers. You could also use the online dictionary, going back into modules, and under useful tools, for every chapter, I provide you with these useful online tools, and one of them is your Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English. You can actually put a word in there, like, for example, competition. That's a long one. Type the word that you're working on, and then they will break down for you how many syllables. You can see it's broken into 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 syllables. And you can even listen to it as well.
Competition.
Competition.
The red is British and the blue is American English. But that's another really good source as well, in addition to Google. All right, so that's exercise 1. After you do exercise 1, take a look at exercise 2, which provides you a list of words that have become very common in recent years, right? Selfie. You may even have these words in your native language that you've adopted from English, right? Twitter, app, hashtag. These are very, very common now in modern English. Count how many syllables there are in those words, and then you can use the audio tracks to double check and see if you're correct. So great practice in counting what? Counting syllables. Syllables being the amount of vowel sounds there are in either the written form or the spoken form of English. Remember that it's not always the same, the way that a word is spoken in English or pronounced compared to the way that it's written, but you all are familiar with that right now, and that's why you're here, is to improve our pronunciation. So give that a try and see how well you do.